Hi, I'm Mia. I just started to sew. I'm pretty new, but I actually managed to make this, and you can too. So come along with me and see how it all came together. So the other night I was scrolling on Pinterest getting some inspiration for one of my first projects, and something that I kept seeing a lot was the ragdoll and the ragdoll types of patterns like toys that caught my eye. Not stop looking at this bunny, I kept going back to it. And so I made the jump. This pattern is from 10 by 2 Studio. As you can see, it's $7.50. It is an electronic pattern that you get an instant download and you print, and then you have your pattern. The thing that I really liked about this specific bunny is that the buttons on the outside that actually allow the arms and legs to move. And here is a clip of some of the information if this is something that interests you as well. So with all that, let's get started. A lot of these tools may not be as accessible, but later on I did find more tools at the Dollar Tree that cost about $1.25. This, for instance, is a piece of fabric that happens to be 18 by 20 inches, which is 100% polyester, and it's very soft. To start the project, you should read all of the instructions before to avoid as many small mistakes as possible. And I'm one of those people too, where I just want to start and begin the project, but it is really vital to know what you have to do in order to avoid waste as well. So in this project, I traced the pattern pieces onto the fabric just to make it a little bit easier. The instructions in this pattern in particular is very clear, and it's also a new method that I haven't tried before, which I will definitely be using in the future. So once you have all of your pieces cut out, then you can begin your sewing, which to me is the fun part. I sewed together what would be the head, which is the two side pieces of the head, and the gusset, which allows it to be more of a spherical kind of head. Also the back piece of the head as well. You'll also notice in the video that I'm sewing over the pins, which is completely fine as long as you're going at a slower rate. Going at a faster rate, it is possible to break your needle. So if you're a beginner, this is definitely helpful. I would just be careful. So next I put in the safety eyes. This one did end up a little lopsided or wonky, but that's okay. So definitely don't forget to leave that opening so that you can turn your arms and legs inside out. It's at this point when I'm messing around with seeing what the body would look like together is when I realized that it looked like a turkey, like a raw, uncooked turkey. Oh my god, how did that happen? She's completed. Okay, well, I ended up making another one, so I'll show you the rest of the steps. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I kind of got locked in after a certain point and I just had to finish. Luckily, I was making a different one with a different kind of fabric, which is a kind of faux fur long pile. And I'm picking up right where I left off with the arms. I did stuff these arms firm, but not overstuff them. So once you have all of your arms and legs assembled and stuffed, what we're gonna do now is sew on the head, which can look intimidating, but as long as you don't do what I did and use color matching thread, you should be fine. If you want to reduce the kind of mistakes that are noticeable, then I would recommend getting the tools that are mentioned in the instructions. The designer actually mentions to use these kind of long, thin kind of pins to hold the head in place, but I didn't have those, and I really thought I could just hold it in place and sew it all around, which I mean worked, but it wasn't as symmetrical as I would want it to be. But it's fine, it was made with love. So what I'm doing here is I am doing a ladder stitch all across the perimeter of the head and the neck area. So it's a little hard to describe, but basically I really like to make everything secure, so I kind of double, triple knotted my thread into the back of the neck, sort of like an anchor. And then I started to ladder stitch all around it, which basically a ladder stitch is when you start off on one side, pick up a little bit of fabric, pull through, and then go directly across to the other side of what you're sewing. Pick up some fabric and then go. I included a graph to hopefully show what I'm talking about. It's a really good graphic, and also you can probably find some YouTube tutorial on it. Another example of why you should read the instructions through and through, and also just be aware of your sewing. I was not supposed to sew these little pads on the feet like this because I forgot to leave a gap for the leg like I did for the arm to flip it inside out. So it was way more difficult, and like I said, since I didn't have a matching thread color, you could definitely see the stitches that I made. Now to the very fun part of this whole project was the assembly of the arms and the legs. This was a technique that I thought was so interesting and so kind of like old school, and I think kind of just charming about it, using the buttons and ribbon to be able to make the arms move. So once again, if you decide to get this pattern, the instructions do explain. Since this is her pattern, I don't want to just give everything away. But overall, this really was such a joy to make, especially this little ribbon and button part. Although I used a ribbon that kind of had like a sheer, it wasn't a full regular ribbon, it kind of was like a design ribbon that I really shouldn't have used. I still think that holding up pretty well. So once they're completed, they are able to sit up by themselves. So as you can see, the one on the pink has its arms and legs. I couldn't wait, and I wanted to see what they look like side by side. The gray one clearly has its eyes a little too low, but that's okay. It was made with love. After you complete the assembly for the arms and legs, you're done. You now have created your own personal handmade bunny. So congratulations. The pink one, we named it Rachel Rabbit. The gray one doesn't have a name, and I gave it to my mom. So thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs subscribe. I'm going to be trying to make some more videos, and thanks. See you next time.